Welcome to Ripped from Reddit. I'm your host Daniel. What lie do you repeatedly tell yourself? I'm gonna start getting my shit together next week. Tomorrow. After this bowl/orgasm. Anytime other than now. I know you can only stop doing something once you're not doing it, and you can never plan to quit even 1 second later, whether it's a substance, a habit, or a relationship, but application of knowledge is totally different than its acquisition. After this last coconut, as a rule of thumb, as long as you start putting time frame to some personal improvement, next week, after the holidays, it's bullshit most of the times. Either start now or stfu. Source: I'm bullshitting myself my whole life. Starting immediately is the only thing that works. That is definitely the best way to start something. Like many, I have a severe and debilitating case of tomorrow or just one last time syndrome that is stuck in an endless loop. Start now. But it's time to go to bed now. This hit home like Tyson in the 80s. Turn life around like Tyson on a toad like Tyson in the 80s. Take a step and put your lights out. You'll remember that, no need to write it down. Ugh, this one is the worst for me. Right, sit down, I'll definitely remember now. 8 hours later, looks at hand, dash it. I forget where I put the paper I wrote it down on. Need to write down where I placed the paper with the thing I wrote down that I needed to remember. I can't keep track of paper. Better put a reminder on my phone. Why is this thing beeping incessantly? Oh, hooray for piss poor memory. For ideas and stuff that don't need any timely reminders, I heavily recommend Google Keep, an often overlooked gem of this. You can track types of content by your own personal tagging system, store voice memos, photos, etc. And you can also still set them to remind you. I've got time. Not only do I have no idea how much actual time I have left, each moment that passes, I have even less. Mr. Incredible taught me that I don't have time. Mrs. Incredible taught me that I don't have time for skinny ass bitches. Gonna go ahead and put Mrs. Incredible in the thickums category. I'll wake up early tomorrow. And I'll get to bed earlier tomorrow. That's what I tell myself every time before I do a 3-inch line of cocaine. That way you go to bed at 5 AM and accomplish your goal of going to bed early. My acne will go away. It's genetic though. I kept saying shit like that a decade ago when I had acne. Said fuck it and hit it with a dose of Accutants. Shit's a miracle drug. 11/10ths would recommend. Accutane definitely worked and has kept major acne away for years. Only the occasional small pimple now and then. I just really hated having dry, chapped lips for 5 months straight. But it was worth it. Does it have all the side effects people say it has? I have horrible, genetic acne, and that's the only reason I've been reluctant to take it. I can't speak for everyone, but I felt fine. Yes, I had dry skin, but it wasn't horribly painful or unmanageable. Completely worth it, and I'd happily go back on the drug tomorrow if my acne came back. Plus when I was on it, I could go like 8 days without washing my hair. I'll clean my apartment in an hour, I swear. Also, I'll go to bed at a reasonable time tonight. I'm not procrastinating. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Can't start something unless it's on the 5 or 10 or quarter hour or absolutely. What sort of monster starts a project at 17? Just one more video before bed. I used to stay up way too late, and I realized that looking at screens was the problem. It was a vicious cycle of feeling awake and staying up later using the computer. The thing that saved me was getting some blue light filter glasses for looking at screens. Maybe it's a placebo and they don't really do anything, but I swear I can watch all the rubber ducky porn I want before bed and have no problem going to sleep as soon as I want afterwards. Maybe some live rubby ducky porn would be easier on the eyes for an extended period of time. Don't get me wrong, the live stuff is great too. However, there are still plenty of times you don't have time or energy. Sometimes you have to just load up between the cheeks too. Scene 3 for the 1000th time and get some quick stress relief. Why the fuck do I see you everywhere today? I'm a healthy eater. Cake has eggs. It's just eggs with stuff added. Cake is just an omelette. French toast has eggs with stuff added. Omelette has eggs with stuff added. Casserole has eggs with stuff added. Bread has eggs with stuff added. Everything is eggs. I'll lose weight. I'll start eating salads for lunch and running tomorrow. Tomorrow always brings stress, pasta and wine. I've addressed this by tackling one problem at a time. I picked the gym as the easier behavior change. Now I go 5 to 6 days a week each week after I started going again in mid-December. After losing about 30 pounds. Now the gains are stalling and I'll have to address the diet issue. However, my gym habit is now established. If I try doing both at once, I'm sure I would have failed like the times before. If you had to pick one though, diet is far more effective / important. I just wasn't happy with my activity level. I needed to read this. For the past month and a half I've been trying to tackle both the diet and the exercise issue, and failing because it's too much of a change to manage. Keep up the good work though, happy for you. Just remember, diet is to lose weight, and exercise is to look great.